Hey guys, Dave the On Station here. We're going to be doing some testing today with the Ruger Precision Rifle and the Bergara B14 HMR. Both of these rifles feature a 20-inch bull barrel and are chambered in .308 Winchester. I've zeroed both of these rifles with federal gold medal match 168 grain projectiles. I've been seeing about half a minute to 0.75 minutes of angle as a group size at 100 yards, and we're going to see what happens if you start changing up the loads. I've got Hornady 168 grain EOD match rounds as well as 175 grain projectiles from Federal. So hand loading is definitely the best way to go if you're looking at being cost effective and the most consistent over factory ammo. Factory ammo definitely has a little bit more variance in powder weight just due to the fact that it's mass produced. Now, shooting factory ammo is definitely going to suit my needs. I can't shoot much better than 0.75, 0.5 minutes of angle anyways, but for those shooters that have a rifle that's capable of shooting a quarter minute of angle and that are able to shoot a quarter minute of angle, hand loads are definitely something to consider. And you all got to think about the price too. So getting into reloading is very expensive. You got to buy the reloader, you have to buy scales and books and powders, projectiles, brass, primers, etc., etc. And then once you have that kind of initial setup done, which is I've seen about $600–700 will get you going pretty good. You have to start doing load development. So load development is the process by which you find the right recipe, if you will, for your specific rifle. And that's changing up projectile types and weights, changing up the powder brands and amounts, trimming your cases exactly the same, using different types of primers. The list goes on. And that takes a lot of time and effort and testing when you could be improving your fundamentals. You could be out competing in PRS competitions. You could do spend a lot more time behind the trigger than doing your load development. So, and that comes down to a cost price point for me as well. So like I said, that initial investment's probably about $600–700, and then you've got to do your load development, which people spend $100–200 on just trying to find the right load. So say you're $800 or $900 in the hole before you start saving any money, right? You have to load 3,000 rounds before you've kind of saved enough money over factory ammo to kind of offset the price point. That being said, I've been getting the federal gold medal match, both the 168 grain and the 175 grain, for about $16 or $17 a box, which is about 85 cents per round. You can't get too much cheaper than that, even doing hand loads. The Hornady, on the other hand, is a little bit more expensive. That's about $32 a box or so, and if you're using Hornady projectiles, you can definitely save yourself some money, but again, that's how much time you have to put into it and then the initial cost of the loading material. So without further ado, let's do some testing. We're going to do 5-round groups at 100 yards, and then we're going to push out to 300 or 400 yards and see if we can maintain that same accuracy of sub MOA with these match loads. We'll see you out on the range.
You guys are at the range. I'm going to save you guys the trouble of having to watch me shoot prone. It's nothing special. What we're going to do 5 rounds of each ammunition type in each rifle, and we'll show you the results afterward.
Okay guys, this is the Ruger Precision Rifle target. In the top left corner we have the Hornady 168 grain EOD match bullets. I called one flyer at the bottom of the target, so I've got a 4-round group here, and that's coming in at just shy of half a minute of angle, which is awesome. This was all done at 100 yards. Moving over, this was our second group. We had to test this a few times just due to the target backing ripping up the target a few times, but we pieced it back together, and overall it's not a terrible group. I had probably one flyer there, but it was really hard to tell what was going on. So yep, 175 grain, and then this was our final 175 grain check because the bottom target ripped up a little bit as well. So 168 grains from Federal. We're down in your bottom left corner here. I called one flyer in this group, so I've got a 4-round group, and that's coming in at, you know, a little bit shy of 1 minute of angle. And that's pretty typical for that load and that rifle. In the center here, this was our final group of the Federal Gold Medal Match 175 grain projectile. We finally got one that was about half a minute of angle. That's pretty good. It took a few tries to get it to not rip up our target, and that's coming in at about half a minute as well. On our next target, this was all shot in the Brigaro. Same kind of shot placement. So this right here in your top left corner, this is going to be the Hornady 168 grain ELD match bullets, and that's about a 2-inch group. We're still trying to figure out what went wrong on this group. It could have been me, my part, or some of the rifle, just due to the fact that we were seeing some differences in the 175 grains as well. This is another close to 2-inch group at 100 yards, which is pretty awful. Double checked it again in your bottom right corner. This is 175 grain again, maybe an inch and a half or so. Not really worth going into. On the Federal Gold Medal Match 168 grains, I called one flyer, which is this shot here, which puts us at about 0.75 minutes of angle with the 168 grains from Federal. Pretty good group. And then I wanted to recheck the Hornady just to see if it was, you know, due to me or something going on when we were shooting. So I checked it a little bit later. I called one flyer off this round, and we're seeing about a 4-shot group at 0.75 minutes of angle. Okay, so in conclusion, I am going to say for the Ruger pretty definitively that Hornady 168 grain ELD match bullets are the best performer. That being said, I'm still going to continue to use Federal Gold Medal Match 168 grains due to the fact that for twice the price, you're not getting twice the results, and there's still a little bit of inconsistency, but for my purposes, you know, 1 MOA to 0.75 MOA is perfectly fine, especially if I'm paying half the price of what Hornady costs. That's just my 2 cents. If you want to, you know, try a Hornady, run it through your rifle, and see if you're getting anything different, definitely let me know in your comments and stuff. As far as the Brigaro goes, there's a few more issues that I think needs to be addressed. It likes, you know, the Federal Gold Medal Match 168 grains. That's kind of the best we could do, but that was still, you know, maybe a 0.75 MOA group. You know, there were a few other issues that were going on when we were shooting. The first being the fact that I think yesterday my dog knocked over the rifle and could have affected the scope. You know, it only fell from probably, you know, fell off the couch from, you know, like 1.5 feet or so. We're not quite sure what's going on there, but this is starkly in contrast to my previous groups that I've done. The first time I took it out to 0, I was still seeing that half a minute to 0.75 minutes of angle at 100. So I'm going to dive into that a little bit further, check out the optic. The rifle still works fine and stuff. I just have no idea why, you know, we're seeing a 2-inch group with Hornady out of the Brigaro and, you know, less than a half a minute out of the Ruger. So for my all intents and purposes, we're going to be using 168 grains from Federal. They were the most consistent. It's the cheapest option, and obviously with Hornady, you know, it's twice the price for terrible results. If you thought this video was helpful, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you very much.